Welcome everybody to another Chaseontwowheels first ride at Mountain Motorsports in Lithia Springs, and today Kawasaki Versys 1000. It's a really big bike and you guys have been wanting it. Well, here you go.
Dancing through the streets, we wander, falling for the fire, burning at the heart, throwing hands up to the sky.
I gotta admit, man, the big bikes are always, oh my god, always intimidating when you're moving them around. Oh wow, relatively quiet. Wow, man, first off, this is not a bike for short people. It is a tall bike, but shoot, it is comfortable. Nothing to it but to do it. Wow, that clutch engages instantly. Look how little I'm letting it out before it starts engaging. Well, that's gonna be interesting. All right. Oh, window. Mirrors, you guys have got to do a better job than that. Mirrors, check. Bike, check. Gas, check. Let's go. Oh my god, dude, it's so comfortable. What is life? So the Kawasaki Versys, as far as I understand, comes in two models. You have the 1000, you have the 650. We're on the bigger version today. I can't lie, when I was inside doing all the work, like the cinematic shots, moving the bike around, the thing's heavy, guys. It's not a light bike. You probably noticed, but on the back we have these little handles. Man, those things help out so much when moving this thing around. The bike redlines at 10 grand, so you're not going to be revving the hell out of this bike. I'm really excited to get this thing on the highway because this bike is made for the highway and doing stuff like that. What are... Oh, look at... Man, that power is not bad. That power is not bad at all. I'll say this is probably the most comfortable bike I've ever ridden. Oh, man, it's smooth. Ooh. Oh, wow. What is this? The power's not crazy, but it seems really linear. Like there's no real big hit of power, but it just kept pulling me along. I can pretty confidently say this is the most comfortable bike I've ever ridden. My butt is totally in the seat. I'm like, none of my butt's hanging off the seat. It's super comfortable. My arms literally feel like they're just resting, and that's just where they go. That's where the bars are. For such a big bike, man, this thing feels totally okay leaning over. I really didn't expect that. I expected it to be a little, you know, if you want to get it leaned over, you got to make it, but this is really impressive. I'm really happy that that's a thing because, you know, this bike looks like a really good commuter bike, but you don't want to buy a motorcycle just to commute on it. Like, that's not, I don't think that's really fun, because you want a bike that you can have a good time on. Or if you're at work and you're coming home and you have this bike made for commuting, well, what if one day you got some extra time and you want to, you know, take the long way home or something and take some fun roads? I'm kind of expecting a gear indicator, but I'm not seeing one. So we're in low power mode. Let's see if we can change the... Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah, super smooth. All right, let's see if we can change the power mode. Oh, I guess you can't do it while you're moving. All right, we'll change it in a minute. I'm gonna enjoy my little turn right here. For it being as big as it is and being as heavy in the showroom, this is really comfortable to just lean over. Oh my goodness. I'm really impressed with that. You guys give me crap because I say the bike can turn well and I only take like 2 turns, but it doesn't take you long to really get a feel for how the bike dips in. I guess the handlebars being really wide helps that or something, because you just a little bit of input and the bike just goes right over. I could totally see this bike being your one and only bike that you commute a lot. God, it just keeps going. What the heck? That's so great. That is so awesome. You just you think you lean the bike over a lot and it's just like, all right, dude, if you want to go over some more, just let me know. I've been in low power mode. You can see the power. Well, if I can get it in it, I can't. All right, getting into neutral, a little bit of an issue. There we go. Okay, so you can see the power mode here along with traction control. Do we hold select? I assume F means full power. We'll put traction control on 3. I'm not really sure what the numbering system is. When I realized I was in low power mode, I expected it to be a little twitchier, but still just as smooth. But then again, I'm being really smooth on the throttle, so I wonder if that's that. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, holy crap. The front wheel is getting light. Yes! Oh my god, you can totally, this is the freaking commuter bike that you can totally have a good time on. You put this thing in low power mode and it's just like, cool, yeah, I'm down. Let's just have a chill time. Let's go to work. It's early. I don't feel like being crazy. And then you put that thing in full and it's just like, rawr! Wow, I went over a hill and it popped into neutral. I don't know what you call that, but it easily goes in and out of neutral, which I don't like a lot. That's not a good thing. I'm not really sure if that's a thing that can be fixed or a thing that over time it'll get better, but as of right now, I'm not a real big fan of that. Get out of here, birds! The bike just leans a lot. It leans much farther than you would expect. And it's got a ton of engine that it's just ready to go. It's still not as snappy as other bikes I've ridden, but you get that surge of power. I'm trying to think of other bikes that would be comparable to the Versys, and I'm thinking probably the FJ09, not to be confused with the FZ09, but the FJ09 would kind of be similar. And that bike I liked a lot as well. I'll put a link here for you guys to check out if you want. Alrighty, we gotta check out the turning radius. God, it's so good. Almost ran it off the road. Okay, let's see if we can turn this thing around in the middle of a road. We got no cars coming. We do have obstacles. Dang garbage cans. Okay. Holy crap. Giant bike. No problem on the turnaround in the middle of the road contest. So yeah, man, big bike. When you're not moving, it feels like a big bike. When you're going at all, suddenly like the bike gets ingested with helium and it's just like, okay, I'm light now. And there you go, in neutral again when I wanted to go to first. So the gearing's a little meh. I'm not really a fan of that, but I mean, I think I could live with that for such a nice bike. I love the acceleration you get in the full mode. Look at this bike, it just keeps going, holy crap. I come into turns, I'm confident. I'm confident that this bike's just gonna lean over and get me through it. Oh, that's so nice. And in this like commuter platform where it's super comfortable. It's got space for bags on the back. So I came into this video expecting to go, it's going with something along the lines of, so guys, it's really comfortable on a good commuter bike, but it just lacks the bite that it needs to be your one and only bike. I don't want to recommend a bike that you can only do one thing with, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't recommend a sport bike if it was only good on the track. You guys actually seen that. I've actually done bikes where I'm like, this would be great on the track, but I don't think it's good on the roads, and like, the place you're probably going to be using it. So I don't really recommend those bikes, but when bikes come like this that, you know, you expect it to be kind of, and then it ends up surpassing your expectations, it's always good. Yeah, and then when you come to a stop, you're like, oh crap, you're right, I'm 3 stories high, sitting inside of a bulldozer. So I think we'll be remaining in the full power mode for the rest of this first ride. but you can feel that the power is more pushing towards mid-range instead of, you know, high in the revs or low in the revs. About the middle is where you're gonna feel that really good surge, but the power difference between the top and the bottom of the rev range isn't that crazy. Really? Guys, I think somebody is sabotaging my area. I swear to God. This place gets worse and worse every day. I can't do a first ride view right there. Ooh, off-roady. Ooh, hello. I'm gonna go buy the garbage can. It's green, just like Kawasaki. I'm just kidding. Let's get off and take a gander. Where the heck? Oh my Lord. Getting off this thing, a bit of a challenge. Kawasaki Versys 1000. Look how, it might not be able to tell how big the bike is. I've got the GoPro on super view, so hopefully I can get the whole bike in the shot. One thing that I love about this bike, look at the freaking face. Kawasaki did a great job with the face of this bike. I love it. I am absolutely a huge fan of it. We've got this, like, I don't even know what this is, like tannish silver. I know it does come in orange and green. I'm not sure of the other colors that the bike is offered in. Looks like we've got a buddy. Also an adjustable windscreen. Let's see, release and release. I assume that, dude, get off the bike. Oh, that thing's on tight. Oh, okay. So it's manual adjusting on the windscreen. I'm gonna keep it up because we're gonna be going to the highway in a minute, and I'd like to keep that up to see the best wind resistance I can possibly get. Aesthetically, I love these bars. I don't know exactly, like, it looks like all they do is support the subframe, or they might be the subframe, and then they extend for the passenger pegs. I think it looks awesome. You got this little platform back here to attach any type of travel gear. I could totally see this bike just going across the US in. So Kawasaki, if you're watching this video, give me a Kawasaki Versys 1000 and I will do a trip to California and back, because that is the bike I could do it on. Exhaust is huge. I'd probably get another one, even though this exhaust does kind of fit with the bigness of the bike. One thing that is impressive with this bike, aesthetically, is the turn signals. They don't look horrible. I actually like the way the turn signals look. They actually look good, and the back ones are covered up by this big guy. So you're not going to have that default thing to change out. It's also got a center stand. So the center stand makes, you know, this being like a commuter bike or a traveling bike so much easier. You can just prop it up on the center stand and suddenly you can do work on the front or the rear wheel. For you guys that watch the first rides a lot, I do a blog post about these bikes where I post an in-depth sound clip. Like, I'll pull a good audio recorder out and actually get a clip of what the exhaust really sounds like. On top of that, you get some photos and you get a little write-up of me. You can find all that at Chaseontwowheels.com. If you want to see some pretty pictures of this bike, plus how it actually sounds, I recommend you going over there. You can click the link right here or the link in the description. It'll be the top link. But for now, let's get this thing turned on. Let's see what it sounds like. It's a little quiet. Man, after revving it, I was like, is it still on? It's gonna be quiet, man, but think about this. I want you to think about this for a second. What's this bike's main purpose, right? It's gonna be commuting, it's gonna be traveling. Do you want to hear a really loud exhaust for a long period of time? You can answer that question however you want. I personally don't, so. Alright, so I'm gonna try to get this thing off the center stand. I wonder if I could just do it on the bike. Holy crap, dude, with this center stand, it feels so solid. Can you guys see me standing up? Look at that, I'm wiggling. Nothing. Alright, let's see if we can get it down. Ugh. Ooh. You just push it forward and it works? I'm okay with that. So traction control, I assume you can turn it off. It can go down, it can go from 1, or here you go, let's show it. Off, 1, 2, 3. I assume 3, with off being next to 1, I assume 3 means the most traction control is possibly on. I'm going to keep it on that because, you know, I like being safe and stuff, even though we're keeping the power on F. Don't worry about that. The dash on this bike kind of has me like, okay, cool, it works. I mentioned earlier that I wish it had a gear indicator, and for all I can tell, it doesn't. I am so comfortable right now, and we're cruising at 67. This isn't really highway. We're gonna get the highway up here, but I can only imagine it's gonna be all right. I mean, if this bike was bad on the highway, that'd be like a super sport being bad in the mountains. So guys, as you could probably guess, as far as seating position goes on this bike, you're going to be super comfortable. I think that's one of the main words I would use to describe the seating position. It's just comfortable. I'm sitting here, my back's pretty upright, the bars are kind of where I want them to be, and I'm just really comfortable. I'm not leaned over a lot. Downshifting quickly. Yeah, don't count on downshifting, guys. Downshifting and rev matching to get that engine braking, don't count on it. That wasn't slowing me down at all, and I was downshifting relatively quickly. Alrighty, my friends, we have the 2016 Kawasaki Versys 1000 highway entrance up here. We're gonna let the cars get up a little ahead of us, because if you ride motorcycles, you know that we tend to ride a little faster than the cars. But now this bike, it's a 1000. I'm in first gear in 30, and I'm already going 5,000 RPMs. So, come on, car, get away from me. All right, first gear. This car is ruining it for us. I can tell you right now, these mirrors are awesome. All right, this is pretty much the worst wind test I can possibly get. I'm behind an 18-wheeler. I'm not close enough behind him to get the draft. I'm close enough behind him to get all of the major wind. And it's not bad at all. I'm willing to bet you guys can tell in the audio on the camera. I mean, I feel some wind kind of from the side, but I do, and it's not sending the bike anywhere. I can feel some strong wind, actually. And it tips the bike back and forth, but the bike stays going straight. Has to be expected. Plenty of engine on the highway. Oh yeah, dude. So no, I'm not even behind an 18-wheeler now. This is just money. You can so tell that this bike is made to be an amazing commuter bike. It's going to be hard to beat this as far as commuting. And when I say this, I don't necessarily mean this bike specifically, but I mean this class of bike. If you're doing 90% of your riding commuting, then you really need to consider this bike. You get that agility. Look at that. Look at the bike just go over, man. It's okay doing that. So you guys know how typically I race the cars that are in the left lane? I'm not going to give you an episode of that this week because we got a cop. I feel like this bike comes to life in a totally different way on the highway. When you're going slow, you get that real maneuverable feel, and you get that agility and that power if you put it in full and you're really like cranking the throttle. But on the highway, it becomes this super comfortable wind blocking touring machine. Gosh, the braking doesn't feel like stupidly phenomenal, but it's adequate. It gets the job done, thankfully. Oh man, I can totally look at this big old highway. You got the bike in 6th gear. The bike's not overly twitchy. You're just cruising. You don't have this super loud sound in your ears. I get used to this, man. Alrighty, now we're gonna do an acceleration test because we have a giant semi coming and we kind of need to go. All right, first gear. I don't know if you guys noticed that in that acceleration, the traction control actually kicked on because the bike was just launching. So guys, the 2016 Kawasaki Versys 1000, I can tell you this is a fantastic motorcycle. Am I looking at buying something like this now? No, I don't think I'm at that stage in my motorcycling career. But I do see myself moving towards a bike like this later down the road. I'm not doing a lot of touring. I'm not doing a lot of commuting. If I was, this bike would be 100% on my radar. So the person I see getting a bike like this, you definitely are probably commuting. Or if you're not commuting, you're doing a lot of miles on your bike. You're going to be on the highway a lot, just, you know, chilling. This bike would be perfect. If you have a really long commute, you want a bike that will be perfect for your commute and then you can still have fun on, that's right here. It's a little tall, so if you're shorter, definitely skip on this one. So guys, that's going to wrap up this first ride on the 2016 Kawasaki Versys 1000. And guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it. Not only does it help the video and the channel out, but it also lets me know that you guys are really enjoying this type of content. Guys, I've got to take this bike back to Mountain Motorsports over here in Lithia Springs. They are the dealership that actually let me borrow all these bikes and test ride them, so you guys can know what it's like to ride them for the first time. If you guys want to check Mountain Motorsports out, there will be links to their social medias and their website in the description. It is time to hand over the keys and call it a day. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next one. Later.